Hi everyone, welcome back to my Elden Ring series where I make a build for every weapon in the game. In this episode, I'll be covering the Forked Greatsword. This weapon is a greatsword that requires 14 strength and 16 dexterity to wield and inflicts the bleed status effect. It can be acquired as a drop from the imps that wield them in the various catacomb dungeons throughout the map. For this one, I went for a dexterity intelligence frostbite build, using two power stance forked greatswords with the cold infusion. For my Ash of War, I am using Repeating Thrust, which as the name suggests, consists of a series of poking attacks in rapid succession. My playstyle for this one is built around applying the frost and bleed status effects. The nice thing about weapons with native bleed, like this one, is that you can combine it with something like a poison or cold infusion for a weapon that simultaneously applies multiple statuses, and that is exactly what we are doing here. As with any status build, we want to hit enemies as quickly and often as possible. The Power Stance moveset is helpful for this reason since we hit with two weapons at once, and the nice part is we don't even miss out on the two-handing strength bonus since with this weapon the cold infusion scales with dexterity and intelligence, not strength. As with my other Power Stance Greatsword builds, I leaned heavily into jump attacks since they pack quite a punch, especially considering how relatively fast they are. Still, the Greatsword moveset is not as quick as a lot of other weapon types, so our Repeating Thrust skill helps make up for that. This skill lets us hit 4 times in rapid succession, dealing pretty good raw damage, but more importantly, tons and tons of status buildup. With the Cold Infusion, Frostbite is of course our main status effect, which we can proc quickly to rip off a chunk of health and make enemies take more damage for as long as the Frostbite lasts. We do unfortunately sacrifice a bit of the bleed buildup with this infusion, but keep in mind the bleed is not the focus of this build, it's more of just a bonus. I still found that I usually was able to proc bleed around once per boss fight on average, sometimes more. Regardless, it's always fun to have multiple status effects at our disposal. For my stats, at level 150 I have 55 Vigor, 14 Mind, 30 Endurance, 14 Strength, 55 Dexterity, 41 Intelligence, and 10 Faith and Arcane. 55 Vigor should be enough for most players, but it's really up to you. Mind isn't terribly important since Repeating Thrust is very cheap at only 7 FP per use. I never found myself needing to drink even a single blue flask. A moderate to high amount of endurance is important because our dual greatswords use a lot of stamina, especially the jump attacks. For damage, I invested significant points into both dexterity and intelligence based on the scaling we get with the cold infusion. Dex gets a little bit more bang for your buck, so I went to the first soft cap of 55, with the rest put into intelligence. As for my armor, I went for this Raven Assassin type of look, with lots of black and other dark colors. I'm using the black hood, the Raptor's black feathers, Raging Wolf gauntlets, and the Preceptor's trousers. The Raptor's black feathers, as you probably know, boosts the damage of our jump attacks. I figured with all these jump attack builds I've been making, I ought to showcase this synergy at least once, so this seemed like a good opportunity. For my talismans, I first have the Claw Talisman to further boost our jump attacks, then I have the Shard of Alexander to boost the damage of our Repeating Thrust, next is the Two-Headed Turtle Talisman for more stamina regeneration, and finally I have the Dragon Crest Great Shield for more defense, which helps because our armor isn't the most protective. For the Flask of Wondrous Physic, I just have the Green Burst Crystal tier for more stamina regen, and the Opaline Hard tier for more defense. And that is all for this build video on the Forked Greatsword. Here is an overview of my setup. Thank you for watching, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.